103 countries, NDAA 224, and the vote America refused to make. 123 countries said yes, 3 said no: the United States, Israel, Argentina. That's the vote count from the United Nations General Assembly this past March, a resolution declaring the transatlantic slave trade the gravest crime against humanity in human history. And in that same legislative season in Washington, those same 3 relationships, America, Israel, and a quiet defense bill nobody's talking about, are about to be locked together for the next generation. I'm going to show you both votes, and I'm going to show you why they're the same story. Let's start with what actually happened at the UN, because most people never saw this story at all. On March 25th, 2026, the International Day of Remembrance of the Victims of Slavery, the UN General Assembly voted on Resolution /80/L.48, sponsored by Ghana, backed by the African Union, backed by the Caribbean community. The resolution didn't ask for money. It didn't create a tribunal. It didn't mandate anything binding. All it did, all it asked, was for the world's nations to agree that the trafficking and chattel enslavement of Africans was, in the Assembly's words, the gravest crime against humanity in history. And it suggested, not demanded, suggested that Chelsea, that nations begin a dialogue about reparatory justice. That's it, a declaration, words on paper. 123 nations voted yes, 52 abstained, including the UK and most of the EU, who didn't have the spine to vote no, but didn't have the conviction to vote yes either. And 3 nations voted no outright: the United States, Israel, and Argentina. America's official position that there's no legal obligation to repair harm that wasn't illegal at the time it happened. Sit with that sentence. Slavery was legal when it was committed, so nothing is owed. While the world looked at the UN, Washington was moving on NDAA 224. This isn't just a budget, it's a binding agreement. It allocates billions in joint defense funding specifically linking U.S. tech, Israeli defense systems, and Argentine logistics. It's the same 3 names again. While they refuse to acknowledge a shared past, they are aggressively funding a shared future. It's not a coincidence, it's a coalition. The Unheard presents Section 224. Buried in the 2027 National Defense Authorization Act is a provision that changes everything. Officially titled the United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative, Section 224 creates a single executive agent inside the Pentagon. Their job is to synchronize and integrate American and Israeli military technology. Not just aid, synchronization. We're talking AI, cyber warfare, and biotechnology fast-tracked directly into American weapons programs through shared manufacturing and licensing deals. This isn't foreign aid. It moves the relationship into multi-year Pentagon contracts that bypass political shifts. These contracts survive changes in Congress, the White House, and public opinion. It is designed to be politics-proof. Even as Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, a Democrat and a Republican, agree this goes too far, the integration continues. My name is the Unheard. This is the architecture of the future. Follow for more truths they won't say. So now look at both votes side by side. At the UN, America says no to a non-binding acknowledgement that slavery was the gravest crime against humanity. And no to even discussing repair. At the Pentagon, America says yes to permanently fusing its weapons future with Israel's, our Rakal, our Chowns, locking it into procurement law so deep that no future Congress can easily undo it. Same government, same season, 2 completely different standards for what deserves permanence and what doesn't. A historical reckoning that costs nothing but an admission, too dangerous to even say out loud. A military entanglement that costs hundreds of millions and binds future generations. Fast track through committee with bipartisan defenders on both sides of the aisle. This is the pattern this channel exists to show you. It's not about any single vote. It's about which truths get treated as permanent and which truths get treated as negotiable, East style, and who gets to decide. The communities descended from the transatlantic slave trade were told this was legal at the time, so nothing is owed, and we won't even use the word gravest in writing. Meanwhile, a defense relationship gets language stronger than most actual treaties en prix, embedded into the one bill that's must pass every single year, that no president has ever vetoed, that no Congress has ever failed to fund. That's not an accident. That's a demonstration of priority. I'm not here to tell you what to feel about either vote in isolation. I'm here to show you what happens when you stop looking at them in isolation. Power doesn't announce its priorities. It reveals them in what it's willing to make permanent and what it insists on keeping optional. A reckoning with 400 years of stolen labor, optional, non-binding, voted down. A weapons partnership locked into law for the next generation. Mandatory, fast-tracked, defended by members of both parties. 3 countries said no to remembering. The same country said yes to forgetting by design in procurement language on page 44 of a defense bill nobody read. If this is the kind of pattern recognition you came here for, subscribe and I'll keep showing you where to look. I'm the unheard, and this is the unheard.